Okay, so today we're here at Craig Airport and we're picking up 69846 after count them, 3 months in maintenance. This was the annual maintenance that had some complications, and you'll see those in the later videos where we talk about the alternators and the changes that we had to do. But at any rate, some of you had asked about a walk around for 69846. And so that's what this video will be about, is the walk around for 69846. So we come in and we turn the master on, put the flaps down, come and check the fuel, and the fuel on the aux tanks as well. And then we step out. Yes. Yes. We'll come into here, the fuel pump. And I don't know if you can hear it now that we got the fuel truck here, but the fuel pump is going on this side.
Where would you like to get today, sir?
All tanks.
All tanks.
Topped off.
We've got tips, we got wing.
Yep.
And is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Tips and wing.
Yeah.
And you come over to both sides of the main tanks and you check to see if the fuel pumps, the main fuel pumps, are running when the battery is on. So when the battery comes on, the main fuel pumps should be working, and you should hear that ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Well, we now got the fuel truck here to top us off. So that'll give us a good indication about the fuel level as well. We'll know the fuels. We put the flaps down, and what we're looking for is to make sure there's no uneven distance between the flaps when they're down. There's 2 parts to it, and they should be just about the same, and they are. The other thing you're looking for is creases anywhere in here that might show where something's been bent, and also looking at the joints to see if they have been greased, and they are, and also of course looking for corrosion. And here's the flaps on this side. Again, making sure they're both the same. Starting the exterior of the walk around, and yes, I have my hat on because it's hot out here and I'm starting to sweat, and it's going to be a long day. And I'm out here just to work. This is not a flight where we're going to do something. We're just checking the flight out, checking the plane out, because this is a return to service. So in starting the walk around, we start here, we're going to go all the way around the plane and come back, and then we're going to go back the other way. But starting on this side, we're looking at the pitot-static, making sure that it's clear, that there's no damage to it. Then we're coming over here, we're looking on the underside. We want to check this particular nut and bolt, make sure that there's a cotter pin there, and the cotter pin is good. Of course, check the surfaces for any wrinkles. Hit the surface with your fist just to hear if there's anything shaking or loose. Then check to just make sure that there's movement. Looking in here, you've got a couple of pins where you're looking at cotter pins as well, making sure nothing is loose. Again, just giving it a nice fist pump just to see if anything's shaking or loose. Coming on around, looking up to the top and on down. In here, there's a bonding ground here that we want to make sure is still there, and that's one on every surface. The one here is down here. We want to make sure those are attached. Those grounds are important. Coming on around, checking the underside, making sure there's nothing going on there. There's a static wick on the 310s. Every control surface has a static wick, so there's one of them. And you're looking for anything that's missing. Missing screws, missing bolts. Again, looking under here for, this is the flap area, looking under the flaps for any corrosion or any bends or anything that shouldn't be there. Sometimes you might find some debris that has gotten there, either grass or bird's nest and things of that nature. You want to make sure to clear those out. We don't have that many problems with bird's nests in 310s, but in the 177, in the Cardinals, the rear end of those Cardinals are just perfect for Stallings, and Stallings just love those things. Coming on around, control surface, grounding bond, static wick, should be good. Coming around this way. Now we're going to check the fuel. There are 6 drains for the Cessna 310. There's 6 drains. We're going to start with the first one over here. This is the main drain. And checking for water. None there. Coming on around, looking at the surfaces again. All right, continuing our trip on around. There are 2 drains on the sump. One back, one forward. And then the aux drain. And the main drain. Okay, and we continue on around. So while we were doing the look for fuel, we're also checking for things on the airframe itself. That was good. Now we do our next walk around, which is a bit more general on the airframe. And we're just looking to see if there's anything out of place. And I don't see anything. Now we're going to do a check on the engines. And for here, the oil dipstick is located here. And we got to clean it off. And of course it's still golden because we've only put about 5 hours on it since maintenance. And we're showing right at 12, so that's fine. Each side takes 12 quarts. The other thing that I'd like to show you is, yes, the brand new alternator, 70 amp, smaller than the 100 amp alternator and saves about 25 pounds per side. But I'm not running an air conditioner, so I didn't need the 100 amps, so opted for the 70 amps. Now to check the props, you're checking for nicks. Any nicks along the leading edge of the props. You also have your flashlight to check the inside. Make sure there's nothing fouling the airflow. And now coming on around and looking down to look at the gear, making sure that you can see that the oleo struts have been pumped up properly, and they are. You want to see at least 4 fingers width distance in those struts, if not more, on the mains, and the same with the nose. With the nose here, you want to see at least 4 fingers width, and certainly, you know, due to the temperature difference sometimes in the summer or winter, that distance will be right down at the 4, but right now it's good. This one's showing right at 11, which is good as well. And even on this side, we got the nice new alternator there. And checking the props for nicks. If you operate out of gravel or grass, you have to check that more often, as in every flight you want to make sure to check that, because you can pull up little debris into the prop wash, and it can damage it. And again, looking at the struts on this side. And the brakes and the like, okay. Coming on around, looking for anything that's missing. These are the VGs. The VGs create these micro vortices at the slower speeds. They don't really affect you much in cruise. You do lose about 1 knot for having these. But what you gain by having them is some 3 to 5 knots in lowering the stall speed and controllability. It makes the ailerons more controllable, have more control force down around the stall. And that's it to the walk around on the exterior. Now let's do the interior.